Okay, I think he's 3 miracles away from sainthood. This is supposedly what happened. One afternoon, he and 5 members of the Memphis Mafia. The Memphis Mafia was primarily guys that he was in high school with. And they were his bodyguards and flunkies and all that sort of thing. And they were riding down the highway outside of Memphis, and a horrible thunderstorm came up. And they were scared to death. And Elvis is just booming along 70 or 80 in his Cadillac. And he said, guys, don't worry about it, I'll fix it. And he raised the sunroof up and he stuck his head out and he said, Lord, please let us through this rain. All of a sudden the highway was dry. They drove through the rain, and 4 or 5 people had put signed notarized affidavits to them. Another of the King's miracles. This is probably the first session of the Nacogdoches Presbyterian Church. We'll probably be having more. In a little bit we'll get our Elvis hymn on. We'll sing Amazing Priscilla or something. One time, they were all kids. When they were in their 30s, they were kids. And they were playing touch football or something on the lawn at Memphis. And they hit Dr. Nacogdoches' son real hard and broke his leg. The bone was sticking out. And everybody was gathered around. They were scared to death. They called the ambulance service. And Elvis told them, said, don't call the ambulance, you don't be dead. And they said, yeah, his leg's broken. His bone's sticking out. So don't worry about it. Just call his dad and tell him to come get him. And so when Dr. Nacogdoches got there, he tore his pants leg, and said, where's it broke? I don't see a bone or anything. And the boy got up and started walking and said, it wasn't broke, we were just playing. So, you know, that's miracle number 2. You got to get number 3 before you qualify for sainthood. Or at least get the Pope to speak to you. Okay, I'm going to ask some questions now. And I actually am going to give away prizes, as opposed to those of you who wouldn't ask me anything. I'm going to ask questions, and if you name them, you get a prize. Most of them are cheap cigarette lighters. You don't call them cigarette lighters anymore, you just call them lighters. You can light anything you want to with them. The kids still light cigarettes with them and all that sort of thing. But I got a good deal on them. I got a few hundred of these. They're in living color, and I give them away all across America, and people look at me like I'm crazy. There goes that guy giving away those cheap lighters from Melody. I'm going to ask some questions, and every once in a while, on one of the questions, at least, I'm going to give away a copy of it. Have y'all seen my book? Anybody seen my book? My book? Y'all don't do that to me. Everybody shake your head yes and applaud like that's the greatest thing. I just despise people when you try to get applause and you're begging and they just sit there. I can't get that. Can you get that? You can't get down there either. My wife and I both cannot move. She's just had back surgery. I don't know what it is. I marry them young and beautiful, and they fall apart on me.
You're too rough on them, brother.
You like that, James? We're talking about maladies that I've had. Let's see. Last year, I was in the hospital from July the 4th until October. I had, first of all, my colon exploded and just threw out the window at Mother Francis. Then my brain didn't work. I couldn't walk, I couldn't talk, I couldn't think. I just lay there like a dummy all day long. And that went on for several weeks. That turned out to be water on the brain. We were kind of excited about that because it was proof that I had a brain. And then, all of a sudden, this huge thing comes up on my elbow. I won't tell you what I called it. But it was soft, it was round, it was pliable, and I enjoyed just playing with it. You know, I just go around and play with my little whatever that was. And Polly, you want to tell them what I got? No, I don't think so.
I'm not going to tell them what you call it.
But anyway, so it exploded. I mean, like this massive explosion one morning. Bill was there, this is no lie. And my elbow just exploded, just all over the room. The poor little Abe was just scared to death. She thought it was the Armageddon coming along. So it's doing it again now. It's building back up, getting ready to explode. You're sitting just about in the right position. You picked a good seat to see it. But Wednesday we're going to cut it out too. I have lost 3 or 4 inches height, 5 inches height, and I lost about 100 pounds, but I got part of that back. And all in the last year. And I told my kids, you know, I'm losing 4 inches a year, you know, that they're not going to have to worry about paying for a funeral. They're just going to be standing around the day. Y'all seen Daddy? No, he just sort of disappears, you know. Case of knuckle, like. Okay. I would ask you, the only human being in the world who is Elvis's double first cousin that you wouldn't know. He has 2 double first cousins. Patsy Presley and Patsy Gamble. Let's see. Okay. Elvis, you've probably seen pictures, had a beautiful Tennessee walking horse that he loved to ride on the grounds at Graceland. And it drew huge throngs of people riding his horse. And he would come out and sit on his horse and they could set pictures and autograph. Does anybody know the name of his favorite horse? Credited to be the most expensive horse in the world. It was Bear. I like these questions because I save on cigarette lighters. I don't have to give them away for 17 years. Elvis had a ranch outside Memphis, a place besides Graceland. Horses and cows and all kinds of things. What was the name of his ranch outside of Graceland? The Circle G, which the G stood for Graceland, not Graceland. You wouldn't name one of his houses after Graceland, I don't think.
And also Gladys.
Does anybody know what Elvis's favorite fragrance was?
High karate.
Huh? God, those are good lines there.
You steal that one, don't you?
His favorite fragrance, he wore it all the time.
British turd.
Other than lipstick. Huh?
Peanut butter jelly.
I'll give you a hint.
Root cologne.
It's a
somebody
straw.
said-
What?
Root cologne.
Root? That's it.
All right, something that's
Somebody
super
gets a lot.
eyes.
She got inside information now.
I'll give you a line and I'll save the other ones for somebody else. There's some people I would like to introduce. You're stealing my lighter. Oh, you know, when you get old and you can't move as fast as you do,
I
you
try
do it
to
every
help him as
time.
much as I can, but you know.
Okay, give it to me.
I'm sorry.
Wrong elbow.
I want to introduce some people who are a permanent part of my life. I'm going to be doing a television show here, or a radio show, or if I'm going to be preaching. Most people don't know it, but I am the minister of evangelism at, what's our church's name? Christ Episcopal Church, which I'm a little tired of, but anyway. I'm going to go back to being a name looking, you know. Boy, the church is weird this time, these days. Have you noticed that? I mean, you know, why don't we grant sainthood to all the convicted murderers in the United States? Yeah, everybody votes for them, you know. And we have a new bishop. I love bishops anyway because they think they are the epitome, you know. This one is young, which means he's probably going to be bishop about 40 years. That poor church is going to be a tent sitting out there before it's over. But he's got spiked hair, so heavy. He's got spiked hair, massive earrings in his ears and nose, and you know, I've been going to bluegrass concerts instead of going to church.
You let him in the door?
Huh?
You let him in the door like that?
He's got his own key. He didn't trust me. He does not like me. I will probably be unchurched just any time. You know, when you send an email to a bishop and tell him he's a coward, it builds up a little struggle. Okay, let's see. One more right quick. Oh yeah, my favorite person in the whole world. Another favorite person. Who was Elvis's maternal grandmother? Yeah. No, it's his daddy's mother. I'm sorry. His daddy's mother. She is one of the few that lived at Graceland from the time it was built until the end. And she is one of the few that's buried in the Meditation Garden with Elvis and his mom and dad. Who is she? Don't you feel sorry for that poor woman? I mean, she's been laying there, thousands of tourists coming by and looking at her, and nobody knows who she is. Her name was Minnie Mae Presley, and her nickname was what?
Grandma.
What? Her nickname was Dodger. But she was a hoot when she was alive. She was kind of boring when she was dead, but she was a hoot when she was alive. And loved, you know, get out there and do rough and snuggle stuff with the boys. We are going to now do a few things, just a little bit of a change of pace, and then we might do. By the way, at any point, if you want to ask me about Elvis or any country music star that ever lived, you are welcome to do so, and I really mean that. Any of them from 1944. I missed the first 5 years of country music. Who was the first country music singer ever in the world?
Vernon Dalhart.
Yes! Give that man.
I knew I was going to get a lighter out of you sooner or later.
I'm going to give you a copy of the book. Hey, we're going to have some. Hey, can I tell them what we're going to do?
Sure. Please do. Invite everybody to come.
We are going to have a lot of fun in October. September.
22nd through 24th.
I'm going to be there in October. It'll be cool.
You can do it twice.
Us older guys are kind of hard to deal with. We are going to have the annual convention of the East Texas Historical Association here in Nacogdoches. And there's going to be some very famous people speaking. I read over the list and I didn't recognize any of them. But I mean, these are the scholastic parts that really know history, you know. I'm not sure what a historian is, but
Neither do historians.
huh?
Historians don't know either.
Yeah, I know.